Hi guys, it's Steve from Justin's Toys to show you how to make a Christmas wreath out of paracord for this holiday season. For this project, you're going to need 20 feet of green paracord, about 6 feet of red paracord, a pair of scissors, and a lighter. Make sure to ask your parents' permission and to be safe with the lighter. Now, to begin, you're going to mark out the centers of each of the pieces of paracord. For this one, you just take it in half, match the ends up together with each other, and bring it back up. And I've already marked this one, but you just take a Sharpie and mark the middle point. And also for this one, we're going to need to do something else, which is de-sleeving the red paracord. So for about a 5-inch ring, you're going to need to take out the inner strands of the paracord from about the 10-inch mark. So measure about 10 inches to 12 inches depending on how big you want it, and from that point you're going to find the end of your string, make sure you're pinching at that point that you've marked, and then move this down until you get to about that point, and you're taking out the strands from inside. These are the inner strands of the paracord, and you're going to cut those strands and then pull back the outer sheath of the paracord, which is the actual one that's the red color. And it's a lot thinner and it's easier for making the bow that you're going to be doing at the end. Now you're going to be doing that with both pieces to about the same point. If you can't get it exactly right, that's okay. Your bow will just be a little bit fatter. And then cut. Back down at the bottom, and then just pull it so that it unravels a little bit for you. And then you can singe these ends as well. Don't breathe in the smoke, it is not good for you. So that'll keep that end from unraveling as we continue to weave. Going to do the other one real quick, and good to go with the inner strand. And with the 20-foot piece, you're also going to be marking the center line. I've already done that already, so you don't have to do that on camera. Now with the green piece, you're going to also need to singe the ends and until it begins to melt, and then taking a pair of scissors and just sort of flattening out the end. Now, don't touch it, it's very hot and it can burn you. And I'm ready to begin with the weaving itself. So now, to start weaving itself, you're going to have your inner strand, which is going to be the red one, and you're going to have it so the loop is facing away from you. And also this is the center point of the green strand. Now I'm going to put the green strand in between and pull it through, so the green strand is in between the red strand, so one side is on top of it like this. And this is a little bit tricky. The one that's on top, you're going to make a loop on that side, and then the one that's on the bottom, you're going to go underneath on the left side and go through the loop that you just created. And this takes a while when you're at the very beginning, but you're going to have to pull the whole paracord through. Now, this loop size, going to start with you can start with the loop of any size, and then you just pull it through till there's about 3/4 to a 1/2 inch of loop at the top, and then you're going to pull this one nice and tight. Make sure to keep the red ones flat or parallel with your table with each other, because that's going to be your inner part. Now, as you have this loop on the top here, you're going to bring your left strand around, because that's on the right side, and just like you did before, you're going to put that around the back, the right strand, now this time, is going to be on the bottom. Bring the right strand around over the top and then through that left loop that you just created and pull through. Alright, it takes quite a long time with the beginning 10 feet on each side. And make sure your loop stays about the right size, and then you're going to pull it tight. Now you're beginning to see the loops themselves and the weave forming right now. And so now you're going to do the same thing you did at the beginning as you switch sides again. The weave is just going to reverse back and forth as you continue. So the right side is going to go around the back, the left side is going to be underneath of the right strand, and then you bring your left strand through the right loop, pull it all the way through, slowly, and then you have the first three as a crisscross pattern on the top and loops on each of the sides. So you know which side is going to go around the back, which strand is going to go around the back, because it's on the other side of this loop that's on the right. Now continuing, you're going to have the loop on the left side. Take your right strand behind the left strand, the one on the back, through the loop on the left side, pull all the way through, and then scrunch it up a little bit if you need to. Make sure to keep these red parallel with each other, and pull to tighten. And the right side, make the loop. Left side goes through the loop, and pull all the way through. Pull to tighten. You don't have to tighten it all the way down, because the next ones after it will just tighten it even more. Just make it snug so it looks nice and pretty on your Christmas tree or wherever you want to put it. And now you're pulling to tighten. So, right loop, left underneath, left goes through the right loop over the top of the inner strands. And now we're going to continue doing this all the way around. As you continue, continue to keep pressing it flat and curving it around so you can keep this shape. So you should have about a 5-inch diameter, and keep moving these around as you keep going through it. So I'll catch back with you a little bit later after I've done a few more stitches. So I'll catch back with you a little bit later. Alright, so now I've finished stitching around most of the way, and if we compare it to our model here, we're we're almost there. Just a few more stitches to go before we attach the ends together and finish off the bow. So I'll put it back there, and so we're continuing with our stitch up until about the point where we've already unsleeved it. So here, there's no inner strands. Here, there's inner strands. We're going to stitch right up until the inner strands. they're gone now. So take your red strands here that we singed before, and you're going to put them both through the loop that we created earlier. And that's going to be a little bit tricky. You have to keep tension on it and bring it together here. So this is sort of similar to a bracelet ending, where we're going to be stitching over the end. So now we're going to have to, this is tricky. This last stitch is gonna go, and it's going to lock in that loop that we created earlier, the red loop. So this stitch, we're going to pull this red loop until it goes underneath of this stitch, and as you can see in the back, the stitch seems to be locking in that red loop. And then pull this tight. Now move our free ends up to the top, and we're going to continue to stitch around the last little bit here with about 3 more stitches to finish off the top of our wreath. There's going to be a bit of a gap. That's okay. It's going to be covered up by our bow. Alright, so I've reached the end of this. We are going to snip and singe these ends by cutting with the scissors close to the edge of each of the green cords to leave a little bit of the inner strand showing there. Take our lighter and melt the ends until it just starts to melt, and then use the scissors to press it down. And that's not going to be going anywhere or coming undone for you. So I'm going to do that with the other end, and then we're going to do the bow. Now, back to the front, we have our 2 strands, which should have none of the inner strands in them, so they're sort of behaving like ribbon. And just going to simply make a bow here, just like you would be tying your shoes. And you can clean up the ends if you want, and that's how you make a Paracord Christmas wreath.